This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, and Laura Lewis. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Ninetail Sedai and Max to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. And we'd like to thank Danielle Christensen for increasing their pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves Podcast. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we are talking about chapters 23 and 24 of The Gathering Storm.
Yep, chapter 23 is A Warp in the Air, and chapter 24 is A New Commitment.
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
I think I know how you feel about the second chapter with Gawin. Yeah, that's about right. But I'm curious how you feel about the first one with Rand. So I'm actually really excited to dig into this one because we're right off the tail end of a very exciting chapter.
Yeah, I can tell you not surprised.
Okay, like what happened after?
Yeah.
You're not surprised?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I read it, and I was like, oh, yep.
Yeah, yep. Fair.
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit fair.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah, we will. That's what we do around here.
Yeah.
We talk about the chapters we've read. So.
Right. Discuss it, thoughts and feelings.
Yep.
But, okay, so for the fun fact, I figured I might as well do a fun fact on everybody's favorite character here. Gawin, obviously.
Why not?
So, here's some fun facts regarding Gawin.
Okay.
So,
Gawin or the Prince of the Sword? Just Gawin?
Just Gawin.
Just Gawin as a character.
Yeah, Gawin.
Okay.
So, first off, in Greek mythology, Koalamos is the god of stupidity, and he's the personified spirit of stupidity and foolishness. And in the Wheel of Time, Gawin takes on that role.
Yeah, good one.
So that's a good one. Okay. It's a joke. Bit of a joke.
It's a great one.
Kind of a bit of a joke. Kind of real.
That has okay.
Now, also, there's a word in Greek called akrasia, which means lacking command, and it's usually translated meaning a lack of self-control or acting against one's better judgment. Now, Socrates, the smart philosopher guy, he says that akrasia does not exist, and he claims that no one goes willingly towards the bad. So if a person examines a situation and decides to act in the way he determines to be the best, he's going to pursue that action as the best course. So according to Socrates, a person doesn't choose to act poorly or against their own better judgment, and therefore, if actions do go against what's best for them, it's simply a product of being ignorant of facts or knowledge of what is best and good. So it's a bit of a fair point.
So Socrates does not believe in impulsivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the existence of Gawin proves it wrong.
Okay.
But what he's saying is that, hey, also a big factor here would be, the lack of correct information. And it's an interesting discussion with Gawin.
Does have a lot of lacking
so much wrong information.
Yeah.
But then he's still
But the thing is, some of the information he does have and just chooses not to believe it.
Yeah.
So
he's no, couldn't possibly be.
Right.
Anyways, we'll talk about him in the second chapter here.
Okay.
But here's the real one. So we've actually talked a little bit about how Gawin is slightly based on, or at least his name is, Gawain from the King Arthur stories. So there's some comparisons here, but in the early Gawain stories with King Arthur, he's considered a formidable warrior, but still courteous and compassionate and honorable. He's fiercely loyal to his friends and his king, and he's a defender of the poor and unfortunate and a real maiden's knight. So kind of like the early Gawin that we got to see when he was young and fresh.
Some would argue even this Gawin thinks he's being that.
Yes. He's not so much compassionate to the poor.
Too loyal to the White Tower and Elida, even when he shouldn't be.
Yelling at dirty people in the streets now, though, so that's not great.
And he's the maiden's knight, going to save Egwene.
Yeah. But in the later text, the portrayal of Gawin starts to slip and diminish in favor of other knights like Lancelot and Galahad. And we know Galahad is a little bit of a play on Galad. Yeah, but then later on he turns into even more of an ignoble character, so not honorable in character or purpose, which is sounding quite similar now. And by the end, he turns downright villainous, and his friendships turn into bitter rivalries.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly. Okay, so just a fun little comparison there for you.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for it?
I am.
Let's do this.
All right. So chapter 23 is a warp in the air, and the chapter symbol's the dragon.
Yeah.
Because we deal with Rand stuff. Now, we are going to enter in a Cadsuane perspective. So right off the bat, Cadsuane not dead.
No.
Now, our last episode did spark quite a bit of discourse in the Discord.
Yeah, good
Thank
play.
you. Yeah, a lot of conversation around some of these topics.
Yeah, especially the whole balefire thing, too.
The balefire thing,
There's
for sure. And I was like,
some interesting points.
This by saying, I don't know how balefire works. So everyone wanted to explain it to me, for sure.
Now, there were some good points, like, hey, the balefire affected Semirog, and since Semirog didn't do the actual strangling, of course it wouldn't, like, time-lapse that backwards because it was Rand.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's also the whole, like, oh, if you do it hard enough, then, like, you're strong enough, then
like
Semirog
Rand
wouldn't
have never done that.
Wouldn't done that anyways. Yeah, there's a whole bunch, but that's why we were talking about, like, loosey-goosey balefire rules. But
loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
And what I was really going to say was the whole male Adam thing.
Right.
Whether or not it's actually from the Age of Legends or from during the war that happened afterwards when they were trying to maybe contain crazy men with the channel, maybe.
Yeah.
And then other people were saying, no, maybe Semirog is just familiar with it from the whole Shanshan thing and has just decided to call it a domination band, you know, like, in this last year or so of her knowing of the Adam.
Right.
So there's lots of different points here. And one of them being that it wasn't necessarily obvious that the one that Semirog has is from Cadsuane's treasure box.
Right, not immediately.
Because there were others before that Semirog had.
Yeah.
And so it's likely that they have others, and I jumped to conclusions being like, oh, this is for sure Cadsuane's, and whatever. It is. We learn in this chapter it is.
Yeah.
But yes, good point, everybody.
Yeah, lots of good points.
Yeah.
All around.
But
excellent. I mean, we want a finger point. It's good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Cadsuane obviously not dead.
Right, because that was the question too, and Rand actually thought that thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then I guess with Cadsuane being so far away, visiting the Wise Ones.
Sure.
She didn't hear the trumpet sound, or they
Why are we assuming that the weaves even went off? It was a trap.
Yeah. That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point.
Because she's like, it was the best I could have done. And it was like, it was really weak and terrible, turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we actually don't know who retrieved the band from the box. Like, it may have been Elsa, but probably maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
If it was Shider Haran,
he doesn't... I was given this.
Yeah, like Shider Haran can do probably anything. Like, just be like, nope, those weaves don't count. Because he can do that kind of stuff, apparently.
Right.
Like, we really don't actually know the full extent of what he can do. He's just like, nope, you don't get the channel. Like, nope, here's a shield that you can't break. Like, he can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So... Yeah, I don't think it really matters. No. The point is, the little traps she made didn't work. For whatever reason.
Okay, so also, maybe Noralia, probably not a Dark Friend.
Okay, you're back. You're not doing that?
Well, yeah, because with that argument that Shider Haran could have just done anything.
There's so many things.
We didn't need, unless they didn't know where it was, and Noralia gave that information.
Sure. So are you hanging on to that or no?
I don't know. The fact that it's even the same one when they do have lots of others, turns out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever at this point.
Well, Cadsuane sent a bunch off, too, to get examined by your friends and all that.
Could have been any of those.
We don't have enough information.
We don't.
So.
No.
Okay.
So we are entering in a Cadsuane perspective. Cadsuane is stomping through the house. She's got a crew with her.
Yeah, doing a little walk and talk.
Yeah, who's here?
So we got Cadsuane, and she's talking to Maurice, and then we've got a bunch of the wise ones, including Noralia, and then Narishma's here too. So we're all just like walking and talking because we're going to Rand's room right now.
And we're talking about what happened tonight.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Now, she's asking about the Aes Sedai who were guarding Semirog's cell, and it turns out that Corel and Nessun are still alive.
Yeah.
I thought for sure dead.
For sure, but apparently not, because warders. And if you kill those Aes Sedais, the warders get tipped off.
Yeah, but they should have been alerted anyway.
Yeah, but there's some like weird fogginess going on. Like we don't actually know what happened.
So then why did it matter? Like if we're also going to...
Well, because killing them would be alerting the warders, but if they're just like knocked out or unconscious or like hazy, then there wouldn't be the immediate alert of like, oh my goodness, my Aes Sedai is dead.
I see.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why she asked, like, hey, is the tea involved? Like, is
the
fork
pork
root
root
tea involved in this? And we're not sure yet.
Turns out, no. It's something much more nefarious than even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil, dark one, murderer.
Hand of the dark one
yeah, exactly.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They don't even
somebody
know.
did die. And
Yes.
it's the one without a warder. Daigion
Daigian.
is dead.
Yeah. And that was Hopwill.
Pour one out.
Hopwill died at the cleansing.
Yeah.
And because she didn't have Hopwill anymore,
Oh.
she got killed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Hopwill's the guy who's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got it.
She's channeling Sidene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now Catherine also figures that this must mean a dark friend is in the camp and helped Samara get free, but she doesn't know who would be able to take out Three Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, we
Yeah.
have no idea what we're dealing with here.
No clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, even if it is one Black Aja who's not bound by oaths,
Yeah.
they can probably do quite a bit of damage.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you maybe could do. I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
It's like, use your imagination.
I know. Well, even Aes Sedai bound by the oaths technically could knock people on the head with a frying pan.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like holding shields on 3 people at the same time to be able to do that kind of thing. And, you know, there's something to be said for
Yeah.
it would be difficult to take out 3 Aes Sedai as one.
Yeah.
Because none of these people are very strong.
No,
right?
that's true. And we don't have like fancy put
Yeah.
you to sleep weaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it was like Nynaeve's power level versus 3 Aes Sedai, then maybe, sure.
Sure.
But not one of these lowly
And
ranking.
then it would alert a lot of people
Exactly.
to like a lot of power being channeled. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now they get to Rand's room and the door's open and the maidens are all swarming around. And so Catherine goes in and sees that there are others here.
Yeah, so...
A lot of people are here.
We've got the ones who are sworn to Rand, right? The Serene, Ariane, Baldine, but then immediately she's like, where's Elsa? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's weird she's not here.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then Catherine sees Min not looking great. So we're like immediately after the fact.
Yeah, because we heard people like storming around outside the room. We assumed they all came in and like probably within an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Rand is staring off out the window, and Nynaeve is here watching Rand and frowning. And then Catherine starts off super aggressive and is like, well, what happened? Speak up, boy. We need to know if the camp is in danger. And then Rand is way too chill, way too calm.
I always assume she's just kind of like being more dickish. Like, she's being her arrogant, like, well, what is this? What is all this?
What happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
And Rand says, it has been dealt with.
Nah, it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Catherine doesn't understand what's going on, and Rand ignores her completely and looks at Narishma and says, hey, I have a cool weave for you to learn. And right in front of Catherine. Like, at any point, he probably could have done this. Unless, did Narishma show up with them?
I think Narishma showed up with them. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't
but it
even
doesn't
know
matter.
who's there.
Even if he was already here, it's the dramatic effect.
Okay.
That's what we're here for. Rand is being drama.
All right. Now, Rand...
You know what, though?
What?
Rand hates drama.
Yeah. He would never be part of the drama.
He's not part of it, no. And he doesn't like it.
He hates the drama.
But he's always around the drama. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's just like it all, to
And
so
one would argue that being dramatic is a little bit emotional. I don't know if he's doing this for dramatics.
Yeah,
that
I know. I get that.
involve him having some sort of emotion about this
He's
event.
so not dramatic.
Yeah.
That everything's dramatic.
You know what? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, so he shows him Balefire.
On his jacket. I feel like there's a good comedy bit here.
Out of existence.
It's like, boom. Of all the, I don't know what you would use it as an example, but I just feel like there's something hidden here. We can have like a really funny scene.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good.
Like when your house is dirty.
Yeah.
Balefire. You don't want to do the dishes. You're just going to Balefire them and buy new ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he's got money.
Keep it out of the landfills.
Right.
Yeah.
Just take
got
it
a
right
hole
out
in
of
your coat. Just like, don't even bother.
There you go.
Can't even. It's ripped and dirty.
Hate it.
Hate it. Okay. Is that good? Was that good enough?
It's good enough for me. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if it's exactly what I wanted.
Anyway, Catherine freaks out and is like, never do that. That is the worst and terrible
It's illegal.
and awful. It's super illegal.
Yeah.
Straight to jail. And Rand cuts her off and is like, this is how we have to deal with the Forsaken because using anything else means they're just going to come on back.
Yeah, and he knows that from the Moradin meeting.
Knows it for a fact now.
But I love because Catsuin's like, hey, that's illegal. And then he's like, not anymore, it's not.
Yeah.
I made it unillegal.
Yeah. And she starts to go off and lecture Rand. And then he says, I've seen balefire destroy cities. I've seen thousands burn from the pattern. And he's all pissed off because Cadsuane was like, hey, boy, hey, child, blah, blah, blah. And he's clearly also Luz Theron right now.
Oh, yeah. He's been like super like, high level. Yeah.
I'm Luz Theron now.
Yes.
I have
seen thousands. I've seen entire cities destroyed from balefire. Mm-hmm. That's not a Rand thought. That's a Luz Theron thought.
Yeah, and then Rand is basically just like, don't call me a child because you're thousands of years younger than me.
Yeah, because he's super old. He's over 3,000 years old now.
Yeah. And
Didn't you know?
Cadsuane is going to switch gears because she does not know what's going on. And then she's like, wait a minute.
This conversation took a direction I wasn't expecting.
Does this mean that this has to do with Semirhage? Is Semirhage dead?
Right.
And then Rand's like, yeah, but I have an important question for you. And then he points over to the metallic thing on his bed.
Yeah.
And she recognizes it, but it doesn't have a collar now.
Oh, no.
And she thinks, impossible.
Right. I do love this, too, because Rand is clearly focusing in on Cadsuane right now, and Noralia showed up together, and Cadsuane, like, looks over at Noralia, and she just, like, sinks back into the bushes, like Homer Simpson version. And Cadsuane's like, yeah, she doesn't want to be involved. Like, the attention is not on her. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, we do not want to be called out here by him.
Yeah, and Rand is not done being dramatic yet.
Yeah, well, to be fair, too, so he talks about like, hey, we clearly got this. Your room got searched, but it's kind of like we should maybe be a little bit suspicious of Cadsuane because we had a worse than an assassination attempt just happen on the Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
And the murder weapon was was last seen in Cadsuane's room.
Yeah.
Under her lock and key.
Yeah.
Like there is some level of we should be cautious around Cadsuane.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that what Rand's doing is actually a little bit justified.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not really surprised by it. And I'm not really outraged.
But do the dramatic thing, because I love the line, too.
Oh, because Cadsuane's like, impossible. And he goes, I thought so, too.
Yeah.
I told myself it obviously couldn't be the same triangle I gave you that you promised would be safe and hidden.
Yeah. But it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he sent people to her room.
And then he's like, is this empty treasure box yours?
Is this where you kept them? And like someone brings out the box and he's like, it was on the floor and
then
open.
She tries to be like, you searched my room, how dare you?
Yeah.
And Rand's like, yes.
Yeah.
It's like the guy who gets caught cheating.
Yeah.
Or the person who gets caught cheating.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you searched my phone?
That's what gaslighting is, right?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully understand definitions of words.
Yeah, it's certainly similar
to that. But it's like, that's the thing.
That's the thing. And it's like, yes, I searched your phone. Sorry about violating your privacy.
But I was right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but he does justify. He's like, hey, well, we thought you were dead, number one. Yeah. Because, like, that would be a reasonable thing to happen.
Especially because we knew Semirhage wanted to kill you.
Yeah, like, specifically.
She literally said that in front of everybody.
And to be fair, she did say she wanted to kill everybody.
But specifically
because the whole spanking thing. Like, there's, right. So anyways.
Yeah, so it turns out the words on the box were not good enough.
No.
No.
And we don't know why, but that's okay.
And Cadsuane is like, oh my goodness, it's clear that Rand is blaming me for this being stolen.
It seems
but
impossible.
This couldn't possibly be my fault.
Yeah. Well, because she's like, how could I know what a Forsaken could or couldn't do? And it's like, we actually don't know.
Yeah.
And we know that Semirhage didn't get the box open. Mm-hmm. But Cadsuane at this point is kind of assuming that, like, oh, Semirhage must have broken free and then got the thing from the box and then went to go and do this thing.
Yeah, but you know what doesn't matter? That.
Yeah.
At all.
That doesn't matter. Mm-mm. Now, here's a big question, too, because in this moment, Cadsuane's like, oh, dang, what about that other thing that was in the box? Where's that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I'm sure not going to bring that up right now.
Yeah.
Which is also problematic. So I want to hear your opinion, because that was the access key for the Choden Call.
Yeah.
That was in there with the male Adam. So.
Yeah, it's gone. She gone.
Yeah, well, he.
Yeah.
He gone.
She gone.
He gone.
The train girl.
Yeah.
She gone.
Yeah.
I guess it's the statue of a man.
But like with Shatter Haran?
Probably.
And that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they have the access key for the...
There are so many bad things happening all the time, all at once, and you want me to be like, oh no.
Yes.
Okay, ready? Okay, try again.
Okay. Where's the Choden Call access key?
Oh my god, that's bad that's gone.
Okay, that is pretty good. We can work on that.
No, shoot.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Oh, the all-powerful bad guys are winning?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Really.
I never saw this coming at all.
Okay, let's get to the good part here.
Okay. Oh, when Catswain's like, how did he even manage to survive?
Oh, yeah, besides that, because that's not even really that important.
No, because then Catswain's like, well, what are you waiting for? Do you expect an apology?
Not apologizing.
And Ron's like, no.
No, not from you.
You're exiled from my sight forever. And
Right.
if I see your face again, I will kill you.
Right. It's pretty,
I will literally just murder you.
Yes.
If
So
I see you again.
Min calls out. She's like, no, Rand.
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe not good, but he's clearly made this decision without telling anyone ahead of time, which is fair.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, like, I understand that you can see it coming.
Yeah.
And you're not shocked, and that's fair. How do you feel about Rand's decision to exile Catswin on threat of death? Which seems very legitimate at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to get slack for this because I also was arguing against empathy last time. But
you're for
people were like, oh, wow, okay.
I'm completely surprised by Danny's opinions. Pretty sure it sounds like the first one. Kill him.
Kill him. Yeah, I think
cool with it?
Yeah.
Because you were starting to like Catswin.
Oh, I do. I still like her.
But you don't want her as his advisor anymore for...
It's not that it's not about what I want.
This
has never been about what I want.
Right.
Let's get to the next chapter and I'll tell you more about what I don't want.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'd say that what Rand is doing makes sense and is justified.
Okay.
Because
that's fair.
What's he going to do? Give her another chance just to actually die or be captured this time?
Sure.
Like, he can't trust her and you shouldn't have an advisor that you can't trust.
Okay.
The whole death thing is a little severe, but Rand is severe.
He's dramatic. He's so not dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
He's causing drama.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but...
So now we get the next kind of sequence here, because then Catswin starts to argue back, because no, you fool boy, and such and such.
Are you surprised by my reaction? Should I be less cold?
Well, no, I expect the coldness. It's just like, I thought you were warming up to Catswin as in like you like her in this role.
Yeah.
And you would want him to maybe turn around and be like, actually, you can stay.
I think that if he doesn't legitimately trust her, and with the information that he has, this is the right move.
Yeah, okay. You know, that's fair. That's a fair opinion.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
In this instant, he absolutely cannot trust her again.
Okay.
Because of the way things went down.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how you respond to things, because I never know what you're going to say to anything.
I know. And I do like Catswain, and I hope we don't not hear from her,
Sure.
I hope we continue to see her doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so now we got
this makes sense to me.
So now we have to get to the chapter title here, because Catswin starts to argue back, but then she sees in his face like some legit... I don't know, coldness, like she's going to be murdered. Danger. And then she watches the air around him seem to warp, and she feels like the room grows darker.
Ooh.
Now, is this his Tavira nature? Or should we start looking out on some true power ramifications of using the Dark One's juice?
Yeah, that's true. And probably more solidifying his connection to Moradin, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if it started with Balefire Crossing, and then he just used...
channeling through this
the
connection.
True power to Balefire, probably that connection is strengthened.
Okay.
And it probably does have something to do with that.
Cool. Or not cool, I don't know.
Nothing surprises me at this point.
Sure, okay.
Except, last chapter I was surprised.
Yeah,
so, But...
Okay, now, Catswin's counter-argument. But, you don't kill women.
And Rand says, I've been forced to revise that particular inclination.
Yeah. He kills women now, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, Catswain, do you believe I could kill you right here, right now?
This
is...
a
sword or the power?
It's a super cool line.
Do you believe that if I simply willed it, the pattern would bend around me and stop your heart by coincidence?
I love it.
And no, I don't buy that part. That part sounds crazy.
Well, Catswin thinks in this moment, yes.
Yeah.
She believes it. Mm-hmm. She absolutely believes that he could do that.
Yeah.
And if he's in such a bad mood, maybe.
Yeah.
Pattern does some crazy things, man.
Maybe.
And it's do you want to test that?
Yeah.
Do you want to test the Dragon Reborn in his worst moment?
Mm-hmm. No. No. So she's going to go.
Yeah.
She leaves. She's like, yeah, no, I don't want to die. This is, nope, I'm going to go.
Yeah. It's a pretty dark line from Rand here.
Yes.
About, stopping her heart just by willing it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's a little bit, but also I gotta say it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool line.
It's really crazy. And as she turns away from the corner of her eye, she can see the darkness warping around Rand.
Yeah.
And as she leaves, she takes a minute to lean against the wall outside, and she can hear Rand telling everyone to prepare to leave because they're all going to be gone by the end of the week.
Yeah. And right now, she doesn't know what to do about any of this because she's exiled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's still got her own, like, connections, I suppose, like, nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's tied to all these Aes Sedai. But, yeah, she's in a tough spot here.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the next move? What's the next move for Catswin? What's she doing? Because obviously she's exiled from here. She can't be, like, around him.
And I don't really know.
Like, Catswin's not someone who we're not going to ever hear from. It's not like, oh, no, you win.
I think if anything, she'll find a connection to somebody and send someone in her place.
Gotcha, okay.
I think Rand still needs to be guided in her mind.
Right.
And if it's not her, there'll be, like, a next best thing.
Okay.
She might stay in contact with, like, Soralia.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know, though.
Okay.
Because she's not... I don't think she'll head back to the tower.
I was going to ask, is she, like, going back to the tower? Is she going to go, like, country house? Is she going to stay, like, 5 miles behind or something?
Yeah.
Like, ride behind?
Mm-hmm. In a disguise.
Right, put a bag on your head.
With a big mustache and glasses. Yes.
Yeah, dress as a bush.
Yeah.
You can never see me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's options here.
She's got some thinking to do.
Yeah.
About how she's going to navigate this, I think.
Yeah. Now, I do have one more question just about Rand's new, like, whole methodology here to being the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Because from last chapter with Rand, where he was like, nope, no more feelings, only nothing, and we're doing things my way. So we're kind of moving into, like, the Rand-tatorship of, like...
I think that we've been there for a while.
It seems more severe now because we haven't heard him threaten death upon people and like we haven't really seen that level of get the hell out of my sight.
Yeah.
So that does seem, and to do it so coldly, she noted he's not angry. He maybe sounds a little bit tired, but like he's not angry like he usually is. He's not like in a mood. It's just like cold.
Yes.
Nothing.
No emotions, just dramatics.
Exactly.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be like forever Rand.
Okay.
You know, it might be one of those things where like right after he got let out of the box, he was having like some difficulties and stuff. And then as time passes and he moves on a little, he tends to mellow maybe a little.
Maybe Min can
help
or
maybe
out there.
loose Theron in his head or... Yeah. I don't know. But I'm also of the argument that I don't think Rand needs emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he can think logically and do his best at this job that he's been given.
Sure. Okay. That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Do I think he should be like a lovely father to Elaine's babies?
Yeah.
Probably no. Probably shouldn't, let him near the babies.
Okay.
Like if he...
you said that weird.
Oh, okay.
He said, should he be a lovely father?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no,
I
mean, like,
maybe.
should we let him, like, be a father?
Yeah.
Like, probably not in this state.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah.
But can he be the Dragon Reborn and lead armies? Yeah.
Right. Start bale firing baby toys out of the... You know what? I really wish that was a thing I could do sometimes. Just bale fire the toys out of,
There's so many toys.
So many. It's like, boom, blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chapow.
Okay, but that is the end of this chapter with
right.
Catswain herself thinking she has no idea what to do about the fact that everything is slipping away from her.
Yeah. I just want to delay a little bit more because nobody wants to do this next chapter.
Oh, no, I'll do it. Oh, I want to do it. I want to talk about this.
You do? Okay.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay.
I got some emotions about this for sure.
Yeah, okay. Fine, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, I'm going to need a break.
Yeah.
A bit of a break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so we are back and we are going to get into chapter 24, a new commitment, and the chapter symbol is the bull.
Yeah.
For Gareth
Bryn. Absolutely.
The Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Logo.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's been a while.
It has been.
Since we've seen that one. Okay, but we are in a Gawin perspective. And now, I didn't get points for predicting that Catswain was dead. But I do get points for predicting that Gawin was going to Gareth Bryn's camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So good job for that.
You did. And that was my vibe the whole time. I was like, that's where he's riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he made a plan. He's got to save his girl.
Ugh.
He's got a new commitment.
Okay, you're already making me mad. Okay. Okay, so we actually are going to say, yay, Gawin. You made a decision.
Okay. Hooray, Gawin.
Hooray.
Yeah, okay. How long is that going to last
Well,
for?
he's already feeling weird about his decision, and he's like, oh, I can't go back. What am I going to do?
Yeah, everyone's feeling weird about his terrible decision. Terrible.
But this, I think, is maybe his best decision, because he's going to somebody who is going to tell it like it is.
Fair.
Like, Gareth Bryn is not going to let Gawin act like an idiot.
Right. Yes.
At least I hope.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
that's at least the vibe I'm getting.
Let's get to Gareth Bryn, and then we can talk about that conversation when it comes.
So Gawin is riding his horse towards the rebel Aes Sedai camp, and he is so tired from the couple of days of hard riding, no sleep, didn't even stand it in because he didn't want any of the younglings to come and find him. He's also very dramatic.
Yeah, but also, like, they might try and kill him if they do find him. Like, that. There's a legit, like, he's a traitor now.
Okay.
He abandoned the camp. Like,
oh my gosh. I guess so.
There is some legitimate concern from him, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. And then we're going to get an awful lot of description about what a war camp looks like.
Yeah, this is what Tyler refers to as the writing flex, where it's like, hey, I'm going to describe the people and the things,
smells.
The smells that I'm going to, the buildings. Oh, we're not even at the smells yet, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you jumped the gun there.
Oh, okay.
This is just like the buildings, the guards, the squads, the patrols, the palisades.
Okay, I thought
command
it was
posts.
all at once here.
No, there's a second one that comes up later. Okay. Yeah, because he's not actually in the camp yet. He's just...
Yeah, he's on the outside.
He's on the outskirts there. Yeah.
Okay. But Gawin is super smart, so he can identify what everything is.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's a command. Oh, that's this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah. And plus he knows Gareth Bryn, so he knows how Bryn runs his camps,
yeah.
which is fine. So his guards aren't giving him any problems at all because of the way he's riding up. He's like, they probably think I'm a recruit. And he gets to the gate, and they're like, are you a recruit?
Yeah.
So
there's only so many options you could be. Like, you could be a messenger. You could be a recruit. You could be a different messenger. You could be a complainer guy.
You could be so many things.
So many things. So many options there.
The only thing you can't be, if you want to still be alive, is someone who's running away.
Right.
Coming and looking and leaving.
Yes.
No, you can't do that.
That's suspicious.
That's a spy.
Yeah.
Now, don't worry, because for the first time in months, his actions match his heart, and saving Egwene is something he can believe in.
It's so good.
It's like Disney movie.
I love it.
I love it. I'm okay with it. So far, so good.
Okay.
And we're like, yeah, Gawin, you did it, guy.
Yeah.
You certainly did make a decision.
Yep.
Let's see how that goes for you.
Based on some information you had.
Yeah.
All right.
From a Black Aja. Cool.
Oh, no.
Okay. So Gawin makes it to the outskirts of the camp. He's doing a lot of thinking in his head about...
He hates the idea of working with the rebels. Yeah. Well, he doesn't even want to work with the rebels. He doesn't even like them.
The rebels.
Yeah.
Because, those assholes, they propped Egwene up to be an Amerlin pawn, and she's just a mere piddly little accepted who can't even fight for herself.
Yeah, and it's like, you remember when Matt came in and had that whole discussion? Like, imagine Gawin going and being like, Egwene, you're just an accepted.
Yeah.
Like, how is... Oh, man. Sitting on her chair.
All right, but don't worry about that either, because Gawin will get in, save her.
Yeah.
And that'll be fine.
No, there's more steps to this. So we got... So he's going to get in. He's gonna find a way to save her.
Yeah.
He's going to take her out and talk sense into her, bleed her away from the Aes Sedai, and then maybe he'll even convince Gareth Bryn to leave, and they'll all go back to Andor together, and they'll all go to Elaine. Yeah.
Because at this point, he doesn't even know...
Yeah.
He thinks Elaine is still with Egwene in this rebel camp or something. Like, he doesn't even know where Elaine is and what's going on. Or,
maybe she's trying to take the throne still. Yeah. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
No idea.
No, I think it says that he thinks that Elaine was still here.
Okay, he's got no clue. Yeah. That's the point.
Now that he's all pumped up.
From his awesome internal thought process.
Yeah, this is where he smells all the smells.
Right, this is it.
Because now he doesn't want to plug his nose, which
hold a kerchief up
to his nose and be like, oh my god, this place smells so bad, because he doesn't want to look like a spoiled noble.
It's like, you are that though. You are that
in
thing.
Fact.
Yeah.
Now, what is important...
Right. It'll come back later.
...is that he sees an Aes Sedai.
Right. But first is a dirty woman who stumbles in front of him, and then he's like, out of the way! And I love it, because it's like literally the scene from Aladdin, where this Aes Sedai is like the kid, and he's like, out of the way! And then he's like, oh, my mom would hate the way I'm talking to these poor people. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, doesn't matter.
She's dead, and it's all Althor's fault.
Exactly.
And I was like, what? I thought we got over this.
Right, no.
I thought...
Actually, there was a moment when we were like almost over it, but then we went right back into it.
Because Gawin specifically said,
yeah,
Ram didn't kill your mom.
He had a moment of pause, and she was
Yeah.
like, don't do anything until I can like find evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he's for sure she's dead and Ram did it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
And then he catches a glimpse of this dirty old woman's face.
Yeah. He's like,
it's an Aes Sedai face.
Yeah.
And then right away I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out and I didn't.
Yeah, no, and there's no way you...
I thought maybe it was Swan, because I wasn't quite sure where we were in the camp. Like, I can't visually picture what's going on.
Well, when Gareth Bryn also hears about this...
she's like doing laundry, and so I was
Bryn also thinks that it might be Swan.
Yeah, she's like, what'd she look like?
Yeah. It's like, black hair, no ageless face.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not that.
Yeah.
So anyways,
but
she scampers off.
But she does have an ageless face, and that's how we know.
Yeah, but she scampers off, and he like tries to call for her, but then he's like, Aes Sedai probably have some sort of tricksy Aes Sedai plan and wouldn't even want me involved here. It's like, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Sure. Yeah.
Nobody wants you involved.
Okay, so he finally reaches the command tent, and there's a bunch of soldiers on guard, and one of them calls out and is like, are you a recruit? And he's like, no, I'm Gawin Trikand, and I need to speak with Gareth Bryn immediately. And they're just like, okay, well, you can go around.
Yeah.
Start training.
Go to the captain, who I just told you to go to, who takes the recruits, and we'll go from there.
And you're crazy.
Yeah, because you don't just get to come into the camp and like demand to see the literal general.
Yeah.
Like, who's a great captain of, like, you just, like, no, man, no.
But I'm Gawin Trikand.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Trikand.
And then Gawin says, fine then, we'll do this the hard way.
Right.
It'll probably be faster anyway.
It's like, oh no.
And then he just starts fighting everybody.
Everybody. Like 4 to 6 guys here. He's like, I fight you, I'm gonna fight you too.
And he's a good fighter.
He's a really good fighter.
Cuts some guy's legs and he's like, the Aes Sedai will heal him.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's like rude. Yeah. Rude, Gawin. Terrible decision making here.
Yeah, and then a bunch of people surround him with bows, and then Gawin tosses a sword down and is like, I'm unarmed now.
I love it.
None of these guys are going to die.
Yes.
See?
And then it gets even worse.
Go tell your general that a lone blade master just took down a squad of guards super fast. Yeah. And I'm an old student of his and he'll want to see me.
It's just like, it's a pretty cool fight scene. Because I like to read the fight scenes.
It went on too long for me.
Well, of course it does. Scenes. I know you don't. But I like it. And it's only spoiled with the fact that Gawin is like riding in to get a meeting with Bryn. And instead of being like a normal person about anything, he picks a fight with a bunch of soldiers in the camp because he's like sleepy and cranky.
Yeah.
And a dick. And he's just like a major, just giant dick.
Yeah.
He's just...
You didn't actually have to fight everybody.
You could have been like... You could have done any more talking.
Any more.
Any amount more to try and convince. Yeah.
He's like, ugh, then I gotta go to that captain guy, then I gotta go to this. I don't have time. Egwene could be dead.
Yeah.
I gotta fight everybody
and
right now.
Considering he basically reveals everything to Gareth Bryn anyways.
Immediately. He
could have been like, I'm the commander of the guy leading raids against you. Go get the general. Yeah. Like, you could have said a bunch of stuff. They wouldn't have killed him on sight here, even if he said that.
No.
Like, there's so many ways to...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's fine.
Anyways.
Because then we wouldn't have got a cool fight scene that you liked.
Such a dick. Just, like, I can't. Yeah. He's a character I love to just, like, dislike. He's a really well written, just, like, oh, man, just
shithole
irks
of
me.
A person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, in this chapter, just takes
I'm just, like, trying to find anything, you know?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, good luck.
Anyway, it ends up paying off because up comes Gareth Bryn.
No, okay.
Who's
but
like, what's going on
you skipped
here?
the part, though, and I just need to say it, too.
What
so,
part?
Okay, so one of the guys, like, grabs a sword. They all kind of start helping each other up. And then Gawin hides behind his horse so that if they try to shoot him, he's like, the horse can take more arrows. It's like,
that does
you're
happen.
Also a dick for hiding behind your horse. Because of your bad actions.
Yeah.
You're like, this poor horse. Oh, man. Anyways. Okay, so yeah, now Bryn comes up.
And Bryn is like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then Bryn tells the guard guy that the next time someone comes up claiming to be a noble, asking for me, at least, like, send for somebody to check this out before just, like,
at least do something, like, as a maybe. Like...
And then he looks at Gawin and goes, you, come with me. And then Gawin's like, you haven't talked to me like that since I was a child. I am not a child.
The disrespect.
And then he's like, hold your tongue, young man.
Yeah, well, because Gawin starts talking in front of all these people about everything. It's like, not here, not here. You want to go have a conversation? Fine, we can have a conversation.
This is uncalled for.
Yeah.
This is disrespectful. I'm the brother of the rightful queen of Andor.
Yeah, now he thinks all this stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it, which I'm like, no,
okay.
he doesn't say it all. But he thinks all of it, which I'm grateful that he doesn't say that out loud to Bryn.
Hey, there you go.
So there's a positive, right? Okay. That's what you wanted.
So they go, I think, to Bryn's tent.
Yeah.
And I like how Gawin's like, it's really clean in here.
Yeah, he's orderly.
No, but Swan.
Oh yeah, also
Doesn't
Swan.
Swan also tidy?
Oh, and the tea.
There's tea, gross tea.
Because Bryn's like, I hate it, and then
but
Gawin's like, why do you drink
I
it?
have to drink it for my health.
It's like that is 100% Swan, and it's so accurate.
Yeah.
It's so accurate.
Okay, but then Bryn's like, explain yourself, idiot.
Yeah.
And Gawin's all uppity, and he says, I'm not your student anymore. And Bryn's like, I know that. I wouldn't have trained you to be such a dick.
You dick. I know. It's so good. And they
go back and forth.
It's all back and
forth. I could kill
forth.
you in a fight. And then Bryn's like, probably. You're young and better than me.
I'm like 60.
Yeah.
You know?
And they have a stare down, but Bryn is all cool and calm, and Gawin is not. And he's like, ugh, I could use a nap.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because the whole Gawin versus Bryn conversation of, I could kill you in a fight, because Gawin like legit says like basically that. And it's very similar to the Elida Egwene conversation about like, do you need the power to assert your dominance? Shouldn't an Amyrlin be able to get your point across with words? And that's kind of what Bryn says to Gawin. It's like, hey, yeah, you can kill me in a fight, but like, does that mean I should listen to everything you say?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But now finally Gawin realizes he's being a bit of an idiot, and he actually apologizes.
Yeah.
And he says, it's been a tough year.
Yeah, real
Bryn's
tough.
like, yeah.
Yeah, man. For like everyone. But that's a positive. You want to find positives. Like, he apologizes.
Okay. And then Bryn is like, okay, why are you here?
Right.
And Gawin says, Egwene. And then it's a whole lot of Bryn catching Gawin up to speed on why Gawin is wrong about everything that he thinks.
Every detail.
Because
he's like, Egwene, like, captured by the tower, and Gawin's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to mount a rescue, and we're going to sneak in, and we're going to get her.
Yeah.
And Bryn's like, that's a terrible idea. She's literally ordered us not to do it.
Yeah.
And she's not just some puppet apprentice.
Yeah.
She is the Amyrlin.
Yeah.
And she's doing a good job of it.
Yeah. And it gets bad again here because Gawin argues back and forth, and he's like, well, no, I'm right. And Bryn's like, no, you're actually wrong about everything.
I'm like, who even told you that?
Yeah.
Where did you find this information?
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, too, because Bryn isn't 100% about the plan that is happening with Egwene, because he's also not let in on all the details about Egwene.
Yeah, he's like, I've been told that they have a way of communicating with her.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know for sure, right?
And he's not 100% cool with the whole, like, we're just going to sit and do nothing. Like, he doesn't like that, and he kind of says that, like, hey, but even if I wanted to do other things, like, I'm still not going to go against her word.
I'm sworn by my oaths.
He is, yeah. Which is important to be sworn by your oaths, and that's going to kind of come around in just a second here, too.
Yeah, and then Bryn finally says he'll see if he can get Gawin an audience with some of the Aes Sedai to try to persuade them to rescue Egwene.
Sure. You know what? Good luck.
And then this is when we learn about one of the wash women in the camp.
Right, Gawin tells
Gawin
tells Bryn about that whole situation. So Bryn actually seems like, that's kind of weird, because at first he thinks it's Swan, but then it's like not Swan. So he's like, that is weird. We should check it out. That's a good commander right there with Bryn. Like, hey, that sounds weird. Let's go just take a look.
Okay, so they're gonna go walk through the camp, and they're gonna have another conversation because Bryn asks Gawin why he's here and not in Caemlyn helping Elaine. And then Gawin's like, you have news of Elaine?
It's like, yes, everyone does.
It's like, yeah, she has the Lion Throne. Yeah. And the Aes Sedai have been traveling back and forth.
Yeah, like all the time.
Trying to undo the mess that Morgase left for her.
Yeah, so this is going to get into a...
That's blasphemous.
Yeah.
Right now to Gawin. But then he's like, no, I'm not going to Caemlyn right now. I have to help Egwene first.
Yeah, so this is kind of the problem here because Bryn's like, hey, you should do the Camelin thing. Gawin's like, no, the Egwene thing. And then Bryn points out about the oath, and he's like, hey, you took an oath in front of me, by the way, that you're supposed to be like the first prince of the sword. You are supposed to be there in Camelin with her. Right now, and probably way before.
That's what I've been saying.
We've all been saying it. And everybody except for Gawin has been, like, thinking it. And he thought it, but he's not going to do it.
Apparently, he had no idea what's going on in Camelin until right now.
Yeah, so then that's when Bryn starts piecing things together. He's like, hey, wait a second. Like, you're telling me you've been, like, here for how long?
Yeah.
Where did you get the information about Egwene? Because that's, like, super under wraps with us.
You said an Aes Sedai told you?
So then he's like, oh, shit. You're the commander.
You're the fucker.
You're the guy who's been doing the raids against me. Like, you're the guy. And it makes sense that it's you because you know all my tactics. And Bryn thought he had a rat, like a leak in his commanders, because of how well the enemy troops were doing against them.
You know what? Point Gawin.
Point Gawin for doing a good job.
You should never have been in that position doing a good job for the other side.
Right.
But
then here's the issue.
What he was doing well.
He was.
Even if we don't agree with whose side he was on.
So this is kind of the funny and hypocritical part too, because then Bryn's like, okay, well now we've got a problem because you're literally the enemy commander. And Gawin's like, not anymore.
I'm not.
I quit. And it's like, well, okay, I guess. And then Bryn thinks, okay, well, you know what? At least I can trust that you're going to hold your oath, that you're not the enemy commander anymore. Like you're not trying to pull one over on me. And then Gawin gets all shocked. He's like, you think I would go back on my oath? And it's like, you literally are going back on your oath.
You just said you quit the younglings.
Well, and you're going back on your oath about being the first prince of the sword. Like we just talked about that.
No, he's just delaying it. He's not going back. This is a swan technicality,
He is oath sworn to go to Elaine and always be there. Not to be there next.
Nope.
After this one quick thing. That's not what the oath said. Yeah.
Loophole. That was Swan's loophole.
As long as my girlfriend doesn't get in trouble and doesn't even want me to bail her out, but I'm going to do it anyways.
My long-term estranged, low commitment...
Made out a couple times, had dream sex once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, right? It was really good, though. So
yeah, but he doesn't even know.
He doesn't.
Weird.
Yeah, super weird. Anyways.
Yeah, but Bryn really quickly figures out the whole relationship situation. Like, why do you want to rescue Egwene so bad? Oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay.
Got it. But he's like, all right, once we set up this meeting with the Aes Sedai, I want you to go to Camelin.
Yeah.
You have to leave Egwene to the rebel camp because your place is in Andor.
Yeah.
And then Gawin's like, you too?
Yeah.
You also belong in Andor. What are you doing here?
Right. And Bryn's like, no.
Uh-huh.
No. This is when we get into the Morgase situation.
This is when we get into the whole, like...
Yeah. Don't talk about my mom that way. And it's like, well, your mom's kind of being a giant bee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so...
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
My mother would never.
Yeah, because Bryn's like, hey, well, she exiled me,
she
banished me with threat of death. And Gawin's like,
no way.
It must have been some part of an elaborate plan that she had that would make sense.
And it was like, no, she's just in love with that Dick Gabriel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it nearly ruined Andor.
Yeah.
And okay, so here's the thing.
Stubborn.
Here's the thing
about all of it.
We know it's Ravine.
Yes.
Morgase, really, it's not her fault at all. But from a Bryn's perspective, obviously, like, she ran the nation into the ground.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand where he's coming from with all that.
Well, when he's like, oh, Elaine is trying to undo all of the things that Morgase did.
Yeah.
And Gawin is like, how dare you?
Yeah, well, and especially because he turns it into like, oh, curse you, Althor, I'll kill ya, because you killed my mom.
We'll never know what actually happened.
And this is when the problematic part starts, because Bryn says, well, you know what, number one,
actually saved Andor.
He didn't kill her, but if he did, then it was probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because it got that bad, and that's when he really flips out on Bryn.
No way!
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing.
It's back and forth, and he just like doesn't believe any of it.
Gawin is just so offended. He's so offended, and he can't even think rationally for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is all very shocking to Gawin.
Yeah. Bryn also tries to be like, hey man, I'm not just like a scorned lover, ex-lover here. I'm not just mad at you. Like, I'm too old for that.
Well, and then he finally says, when you go to Andor, talk to Elaine. She'll tell you. And Elaine knows it was Ravine.
Yeah.
She knows all of that.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. And then one day we will get the reunion that we're all hoping for. And
yeah. Well, and then what's
Morghese
Elaine gonna
is
be
alive.
like? You gonna kill Rand? That's my baby daddy.
Well, also,
Like, what are we doing
I
here?
still wholeheartedly believe that if Gawin tries to even remotely kill Rand,
Yeah.
he will die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's he gonna do? Unless Rand's in one of his one of his many issues. Throwing up while trying to embrace the power. Like, there's times where Rand could be.
No. I've said this before. The
Yeah.
pattern will nope Gawin right out of there.
I love it. Okay.
Right off the face.
And a
of
meteor.
Yes.
Goes
He
out of the-
tripped and falls down the stairs and breaks his neck on
Right.
his way to kill Rand.
Yeah.
You know?
Love it.
Because no. Gawin, no. You
Yeah.
can't kill Rand.
You're gonna be really embarrassed if Gawin actually manages to kill Rand.
Oh, I'll be so embarrassed.
You're like, oh shoot.
I'll eat my hat.
You just bought a new hat.
Yeah, I did.
You could eat it.
I did buy a new hat. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's where we leave that because that conversation's terrible.
Okay.
And Gawin's
anyway, we gotta get him back to Elaine.
Right.
Ask her, see what she says.
Okay.
And then
Let's go
we'll
talk to
move on.
this dirty wash lady,
Yeah.
Aes Sedai lady.
Okay, so we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We're gonna find her.
Yep.
And we're gonna be like, "Hey, you," and she's like, "No,
No,
Don't look at me.
she doesn't go. She doesn't
Yeah.
like go away.
no,
She doesn't run. She just
No.
keeps scrubbing and like just trying to pretend that she doesn't exist.
yeah,
And it doesn't work because like just because you close your eyes doesn't mean you're invisible now. So
yeah." And then they're like, "Hey, you," and then some nearby lady
yeah,
who's like, they caught you.
yeah. It's just like I told you could work here if you want to. Like I'm not gonna say no to your type, but like
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious.
someone was bound to notice you.
Yep.
And then the Aes Sedai's crying, and I'm like, "Who the hell is this?"
Well, and Bern even tries to go up to her and be like, "Hey, if you tell me to go away and walk away, I will, and
Yeah.
no follow-up questions."
Like
'cause-
I'm not dealing with Aes Sedai.
yeah,
business
like if you're
right
doing
now.
a thing here, like
Yeah.
I don't want to be
And then the woman
involved
whispers, "I'm not Aes Sedai," and then this is very confusing.
because they're like, "I said I can't lie." But
Yeah, and then
what
she
is it?
says, "My name is Shamarin.
And you're like, "Oh, okay."
I used to be Aes Sedai, but I'm not anymore. Please
Yeah.
just leave me alone
yeah.
to work in my shame,
Do the most shameful, lowliest job I can think of.
doing laundry."
Right, it's the worst.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that.
Anyway, and then Bryn's like, "Okay, well, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna bring you to the other Aes Sedai in the camp."
You understand why I can't just like do
Yeah,
nothing.
and so Shamarin sighs, but stands up to go.
Yeah.
And is like, "All right, I guess I'll just face
Well,
this."
because she's just a wash lady and she has to obey orders from a general, I guess.
it's like accepting, right? Like that's the whole thing Gawin
Yeah.
is talking about.
yeah.
If you just accept it,
Yeah.
then it's so.
So now we have a tower Aes Sedai who's now going to be brought to a meeting with the rebel Aes Sedai.
Yeah, but she's not an Aes Sedai.
Right. Fair. Okay. Yeah. True. And also, we're going to just slide that Gawin meeting into that other meeting.
Yeah.
It's going to go great.
And then send him off to Andor.
Because he'll for sure go. No problems.
Well, I do want him to go.
We all wanted him to go a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he has to save his girlfriend.
Brigida really wants him to go.
Oof. Yeah. Literally anyone at this point showing
Yeah.
up would be better.
Yeah.
Well, Matt's on his way there.
To Camelin, we don't know if he's going to stop off at the palace to hang out with Elaine.
Might go drinking with Brigida.
Yeah, he might if he knows
They're best friends.
she's there.
Right? Essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah. Basically. I don't know. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
They drank together a couple times.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
They bonded.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Anyways, that's Gawin. That's what he's doing.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to Aes Sedai meetings. We'll see where that goes. I
Yeah.
always like Aes Sedai meetings,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So they're always sassy and fun.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you thinking? Anyway, I'm glad that Gawin now has some supervision. He's supervised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because he is a child running around on his own, and you're like,
Right.
who let this child run around the playground by themselves?
Yeah. Now he's in charge of the other children that are also running around.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody is overseeing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah, it's
now, yeah,
Yeah. It's funny because they're called the younglings.
I know. The teenager now has some supervision. So
Yeah.
that's fine. He's just very emotional.
He is.
He's
It's a
very,
tough time.
very emotional,
It's
and
been a tough year.
it's been tough.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have a nap.
Maybe. He needs to be actually and I understand that when you don't sleep for a couple days, like your brain stops working.
Yeah, it does.
It really stops working.
Yeah, but what's Gawin's excuse? He just has never slept, or
It's been 2 years. He hasn't slept in 2 years. His brain stopped working
Oh
2 years
my
ago.
okay.
You know what? There's like a I don't know if I want to call it like a fringe theory, but like some people like to think that Gawin has been at some point compelled to just be a dick.
Okay.
And like to,
Yeah.
you could make the argument in some cases like, oh, because the way he battles with his own thoughts, it's almost like compulsion, where it's like he wants to do something,
and then
but
can't.
Just can't. But it's just one of those, like, I don't like to make excuses for him when he's just being a dick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, next episode we're doing 2 chapters again.
2 chapters.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Well, before you go ahead and fight your way into a situation, instead of using your words, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young. With music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show, like information on how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And if you write us a really nice review and put your Instagram or Twitter handle in the review on Apple Podcasts, we will be picking people at random to be giving out some merchandise like stickers and bookmarks, and we'll send them out to those people as a huge thank you. Now be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.